Hello, everybody, and welcome to Night Shift. Today, I'm just gonna explain the lore of the game and the connections to Powerdrill Massacre. It is a prequel to Powerdrill Massacre, and this is Jim's first night shift, or not night shift, but basically his first shift. So, hope you guys enjoy. Stay tuned. The game follows a park ranger named Jim who was assigned on watch duty on top of the tower in the middle of a public park in the Poconos Mountains, where he specifically has to check for fires and guide any hikers who are in trouble or lost. We find a note. It reads, "Jim, finally out on your first watch duty. You're going to love it. Peaceful nights and all the fresh air you could ever want. This is an easy job, but you still need to stay on top of things. Make sure you make a round and check for fires every 30 minutes. Be aware that you also have a radio tuned in to the emergency ranger channel. Hikers are directed to use this channel in any case of any trouble. It is unlikely, but make sure you keep the radio on. Use the satellite phone in case of any emergencies, and backup will be on the way. Another ranger will be there to relieve you next week. You can ride back out on his horse. In the meantime, enjoy yourself. You have plenty of supplies. Best, TJ." On top of the tower, he checks for fires using the binoculars and checks the weather using the old portable computer. During his watch, somebody contacts him through the emergency radio transmitter. Jim tries to talk to the person, but all he hears is heavy breathing. He assumes some kids are playing pranks on him. So he brushes it off. The generator suddenly goes off and Jim goes downstairs to refuel it. After refueling the generator, he finds a computer disk and inserts it into his portable computer, and it turns out to be a text-based game. After playing the game, Jim hears a knock on the door and goes to investigate but sees nobody. But upon investigating, the person is nowhere to be seen. Jim goes downstairs to check the shack. As he leaves the shack, he is attacked by a man in a firefighter suit. Jim wakes up in his bed and realizes it was just a dream and that he dozed off. Jim gets out of his bed and checks if everything is alright, and he notices that his rifle is missing. He then receives a warning from his computer about the flood. He returns back to his duties and is later contacted by a group of campers through the radio transmitter. Who tell him that they think they're being watched and that they heard somebody making pig noises. Jim gets off the tower and heads towards their campsite. On his way, he stumbles across lost camping equipment and he finds an abandoned shack. He goes inside and finds a pentagram on the wall with a goat skull. I think the graffiti is sprayed painted or chalked on by the powerdrill killer. Now, the reason why I'm saying this is because we can see the same pentagram back in the Powerdrill Massacre behind a abandoned house. And there's a random flute laying on the ground. I think the power, and this is another sign of the power drill killer has a, and we find a flute on the floor. This is like another sign of the power drill killer has like a mind of a toddler, a child. Along the way, we start to find lost items in the middle of the woods. He reaches the campsite, but nobody is there. He checks each tent and finds blood splattered inside one tent. He further explores the area and hears a child crying. He goes into the woods looking for the child, where he is suddenly ambushed and attacked by the driller killer. Jim wakes up trapped in a cage inside the killer's lair, tied up and naked. The killer then shows up, watches Jim for a while, and mumbles gibberish before brutally slaughtering him, and a Bible verse is displayed afterwards. And God shall wipe all tears from their eyes, and there shall be no more death, neither sorrow nor crying, neither shall there be any more pain, for the former things are passed away. Revelation 2:1-04. As the credit rolls, a nighttime view of the mountainside is shown, and someone is heard groaning, screaming, and crying aloud. This is likely the screech of the driller killer. on Jim's computer when he receives a warning about the flood says June 18th, 1978. The events of the powerdrill massacre takes place in 1987. This means the Night Watch is in fact a prequel to powerdrill massacre. Night Watch might be considered the start of the driller killer's legacy. In the powerdrill massacre, one of the newspapers says that the 12 campers have disappeared since 1978 within the Pocono Mountains. I'm not sure if it's just me, but I have the feeling these two drawings or paintings or I don't know, spray paint goat things. I'm not sure if this is a sign of the Power Drill Killer saying like it's their territory or something like that. Because it's kind of a coincidence that these two drawings are the same and they're kind of in the Pocono Mountains in the same area almost. Like I have a feeling like he drew this, you know what I mean? Like he drew it on the wall. Of course, it might be a coincidence, but it's just a weird thing to see, you know, in Night Watch and the Power Drill Massacre. I have the feeling they're trying to tell us something. And another thing, I have the feeling that the little girl got taken by the Power Drill Killer. Why you might ask is because in Night Watch we find the bear in the middle of nowhere and we hear the girl screams, and around that time she did get taken around that like area in that time. And the fact that we hear the girl screams, I think she was still alive and she was just being dragged or something. Like I guess she probably escaped for a moment and then she got took. The Power Joe killer caught her and she was just screaming help, help, help. Night Watch was there coincidentally, or I'm not sure. I mean, the killer was there as well, and he came after us, but I don't know why. It's just I don't think he's able to fully mimic the girl scream. You know what I mean? But yeah, I have the feeling that he took the girl, and we find a teddy bear. One in Night Watch once we're like inside the woods, and then later on we find the teddy bear in the factory as well, like in the sugar tunnel. I don't know why it's there. Probably she survived and she died. I can't really say, but like the fact that the bear was in the woods and then there, so I have the feeling either the killer took it or the girl took it. I can't say for sure, but that's a kind of like a good thought to think about, no? But yeah, I'm not I hope I explained the Night Watch pretty good. I think I did. I'm not the best at doing these kind of lore videos. I'm still learning. So right now, yeah, I'm sorry if I didn't explain it too well. I tried my best. But if you guys did enjoy and watched it till the end, I pretty much or I appreciate you for sticking and watching it. Um, I'm trying to get better at saying words, pronouncing stuff, you know. Uh, be someone better at, you know, wording things, you know, and explaining things better. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed watching this. Have a good day and night. Bye bye.